and welcome to the latest edition of Cruising with the Coaches, a conversation with Julie and Lee. Uh, Julie, how are you? First of all,
Good.
like how you
How are
doing?
you?
How do I'm okay, but how do I sound? Folks, I'm sorry, like still not quite feeling myself, so still rocking the cough drops because that's the only relief I get. Can't even speak right. Um, but hey, the show must go on, right? The show must go on. I do have a question for you though,
Okay.
and it's not even show related or not related to this show,
Mm.
but I'm scrolling through YouTube and I saw something that was hilarious. Do you, if you had a dog, would you get the dog a treadmill?
Would I?
Hmm.
Absolutely. I've had a dog.
No,
So,
no, but not, I mean not a treadmill for you that the dog would run on with you, like a treadmill for the
like, in
dog.
addition to,
Yes,
like,
for
their
the
own
dog.
treadmill,
Absolutely. Yes.
I mean, I don't think I would purchase a separate. I mean, I already have a treadmill, so I would probably, like, let them use my treadmill, but I don't think
Dude,
I
I'm
would.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send you the clip. I saw like it was a pity, right? Pit bull,
Yeah.
and so big dog, right? But he climbs up on the whole treadmill. Well, she had to help him up, but had a harness and everything. She had to go to his room to get the safety clip to hit the harness onto the safety wire. My man ran for like 30 minutes on the
See,
treadmill. I I was like, what are we? This is a thing. I
no, like, I honestly think it would be a good investment because if it's a dog who's energetic and they need
mm-hmm
to be outside, and heaven
and they
forbid
can't always get outside,
and they
right?
can't
Yeah.
get outside, or even if it's raining or snowing or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
situation is, because I know our dog was like couldn't stand the snow.
Says
Like
snow.
like the
Hmm.
second the
You
paw
need to
went out, he
carry
was like,
me,
"Ooh,"
right?
like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Um, so no, I get it. I would do it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's something I'd never seen before. I think it's genius, first of all,
Yeah.
right? I'm
Yeah.
jealous that I haven't thought of it because then I could be getting paid, right? But not the point. But like the pity climbed up and he kept looking back at her and she was like, "Well, go ahead," because he really wanted to get on it,
Yeah.
and he waited for her to get the clip for the safety harness, but was on the treadmill just like chilling, waiting for her to come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she clipped in the harness, took off
Yeah.
and
Because
was
they
just.
know. They know. They know the
I was
routine.
like, that's crazy. But
No, that's
anyway,
cool.
yeah, I always got something. I'm always looking at something. And we can't keep talking about the. Well, I won't mention the L word. So the loofah word.
Oh,
Can't
I was gonna say,
can't
are
talk
we
about
gonna I was thinking you were gonna say aloof.
that. Exactly. We'll pump the brakes on that. Pump the brakes on that. Anyhow, but today's show we are talking about the five love languages, right? But not just the love languages. We're talking about how they relate to traveling, right? So let's get into the love languages and just about the love languages first. I'm sorry. Um, and let's I'm in the wrong thing. I can't think straight. Oh my gosh. The love languages and traveling. Let's talk about the love languages first. That's what I was trying to say. All right,
Gotcha.
there we go. So, the five love languages, they're great for helping you figure out how you give or receive love and affection in relationships, but they can also be used to guide you in other parts of life. These five love languages were coined by Baptist pastor and marriage counselor Dr. Gary Chapman in his 1992 book, The Five Love Languages. The categorization aimed to teach couples how to understand and navigate the different ways of giving and receiving love. So, the five love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. These languages relate to not only how you prefer to give love, but also how you receive it. And they're not always the same. And since the release of his book, love languages have been applied beyond just romantic relationships. The theory of these languages can be applied to friends, family, workplace, or even guide you, excuse me, in your travel. So before we get into what the actual love languages are, um, do you know what out of those five, do you know what your love languages are? Or no.
Yes, I
Better
do.
better question. Do you want to share those on the show?
Oh, I don't care.
A lot of emails coming in. Oh, no, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. Right, right.
So mine are actually, believe it or not, quality time. I'm a
hmm
big time quality time person.
hmm
One-on-one preferably. And then the acts of service. So if
Mm.
somebody were to do something for me, which and I it's funny because once you've like taken the quiz and you understand, like I honestly thought it was gifts. I thought it was, but it's not what it is.
Uh-huh.
Um, but acts of service in the fact that if someone does something for me that I
Mm.
routinely do and it gives me time
Ooh.
to do something else,
Even
that
if
is
that's
something
just like chill or not have to think about that routine thing. Okay.
exactly. So I was
Mm.
surprised. I was like honestly very surprised by because I usually like doing things for myself by myself. And so to hear it being said acts of service, I'm like, what? Like,
Well, I was going to say, I'm putting the link up for the quiz. Like, if anyone wants to take the quiz, that's how you can find out what your love language is. That is interesting,
yeah,
to
yeah.
but that you know them. And now, are they the same for you, both receiving and giving, right? Because they don't have to be.
How do I receive love or how do I
Well,
give
right.
love?
Well, so
So that's how
those are
I receive love.
that's how you receive what you were talking
That's how
about,
I receive.
right?
Yes. But
hmm
I'm a gift giver and it's usually and it's I mean, it for me it tends to be like something I notice that someone said or somebody like
Mm. hmm
wouldn't normally get for themselves type of thing and they're like, "Oh, I can't believe you heard me," or that you understand, like
Or that
that.
you paid attention, or yeah.
Exactly,
hmm
exactly. But I will tell you that I do struggle with people whose love language is words of affirmation, only because I, I'm not a person who has a lot to say. You know what I mean? I mean,
Oh,
yeah, with coaching and advising and what have you, but
that's a
like
whole different story, right?
that's a
Right,
whole
right.
different story.
Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
I'm not a person who usually um I don't there's not a whole lot of weight to me in words. I prefer to see actions behind the words that you are saying. So it's really hard for me
Or
to just throw
or
words at
maybe it's
somebody.
maybe it's the actual opposite. Maybe there is weight to words, but because there's very few words, they mean something every time you say something. You know what I mean?
Which
Y-
I'm learning that. So like I'm like because I don't say much. So when I
Right.
do say
'Cause
stuff, people are
yeah, right,
like,
right.
oh, like, and I'm like, oh, like, I don't know.
This is weird. We're having a role reversal right now for the show. This is therapy hour with Julie, not therapy hour with Lee. So it's cool. It works.
But yeah, so words of affirmation it's a struggle for me when that's the way the other person receives
Person,
love. Yeah.
got you,
So,
got you. Yeah. After reading it, I would have to say, and folks, this is not a setup, but I would have to say very similar. The acts of service and the quality time, right?
mhm,
That's what I would like. That's my reception for love language, right? Um, I mean, I think it's also a mixed bag from time to time too, depending on if you haven't heard the words of affirmation. All right, every now and again, it's fine, but
right.
that's not a main thing, you know. Um, because some people look for, and maybe this is too strong of a word to say it, but validation, maybe.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, I don't necessarily need that. I think that's what I see with the acts of service or the gifts, right?
Hmm.
Um, and just in reading it, that's when I realized, yeah, those are kind of Now, how do I give? I would say acts of service for sure.
Okay.
Acts of service. Um, I don't know about the gifts. That's well, reading it again, I definitely will give somebody a gift that they like. If I know it's something important to them, I could care less about it. Like it doesn't have to. It's not for me. It's for them.
Okay.
Um, so I get that, but I'm not the gift type dude. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I don't know what I struggle with, but why don't we get into the five love languages
Okay.
and go from there? So the first one, as we said, is words of affirmation. People with words of affirmation as a love language value verbal affection, prioritizing frequent communication, whether it's digital or in person, as well as compliments and encouraging words. All right, I got to come back out on camera because I just realized, yeah, I think I used to be the affirmation, but not in a digital sense. Like, no, verbal, yes.
Okay.
Digital, mm, not so much. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you do
Uh,
like your emojis, but okay.
those aren't words. Those aren't words. Yes, emoji king. Got it. I got to create some more, by the way. You made me think about that. Yeah. The second love language is, as you heard us talk about, quality time. This is when you're actively making time to spend with their loved ones and how people value quality time to show their love. This is quality time rather than just watching a show together. It's meaningful activities and conversation where both people are fully present. Anything you want to add before you go to the third one about quality time?
um, no.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Well, I mean, I
So
think, well, with
yeah,
quality
go ahead.
time too, I think it's being very specific too. So it's so funny. We were just I had a conversation about, well, I won't say like a full-fledged conversation about this, but
Sure.
um, there is a difference between saying to someone, "Do you want to go for ice cream?" over, "Would you like to go for ice cream with me?" Do you see what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
so I didn't know
Absolutely.
that. I didn't think it was a big deal. I assume if I say, "Do you want to go have ice cream?" I obviously mean with me. Duh, is how I look at it, right?
Right. Right.
But
Right. Right.
like the
Right.
fact that you need to be clear on the fact that would you like to go have ice cream with me, so that
Well,
it's letting
it
the person know that you specifically want them to go with you.
call on me, please. Call on me. I I'm with you because you said that to them, so it's all implied that yes, I want you
Yes.
to go with me to I so therein that's the difference between like the quality time or the words of affirmation, right? That's illustrates the difference right
Or
there.
deliberate words.
So
It's like,
so is it a
seriously?
group of us going or is it no, just you
Just
and me.
you and
Just
me. It's like, well, no, if I really don't want any ice cream, but if you're gonna go, can you like bring me some
can you
back?
bring something back?
Like,
Right, 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 right. Well,
and that's
I don't want ice cream, but on your way back, can you stop by Taco Bell? Like, since you're
if
going
you're
out.
already
It
out.
says, yeah.
No, the
Keep the
whole
gas in the
point is
car
I
and
wanted to spend time with you. Like, but apparently you have to be precise in the things that
uh,
you're asking. So
words of affirmation,
yeah,
Some
I
people
get
need
it.
it.
I
Some
get it
people
now.
need it. The third love language is acts of service. If acts of service is your love language, you feel valued when your partner does anything, big or small, to make your life easier. Whether that's making dinner before you get home, picking something up so you both don't have to, or giving you a lift back from the station. Um, that's pretty self-explanatory,
Yeah.
right? Acts of service, and that's what you were saying. If it's something that's not in your routine in your routine, and that person picks one of those things out of your routine, that just gives you that little bit of space. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's
Right.
so.
It's also a way to
Um,
find out if someone's upset with you, because if they do it daily and then they stop.
oh, okay. Can I talk to the fellas for a minute, fellas? If you're listening, so this was someone I was dating years ago, and the only quality talk about love languages, right? And everybody warned me. They were like, "No, don't do that, because then she's gonna expect it." I'm like, "Look, with my
Don't
work
start
schedule,
something you can't finish.
well, but
Effects.
and it was like with my work schedule, this was the only quality time that we could actually share, right? She worked like a Monday through Friday. My TV schedule was not Monday through Friday. So I would go get her lunch on my off day and take her lunch to her office, right? And everybody was like, "Oh, don't do it. Don't do it." And I was like, "But why?" Like that we get to spend quality time. So I get it too that then it became the expectation, right?
And the one time you
Yeah.
don't, what's wrong?
I,
Are you,
you
what
know,
happened? Are you upset with
nothing,
me?
nothing. I'm just at the gym. Like there's nothing wrong. Yeah, yeah. I get it. Yep. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. So there's acts of service for you. Also, number four, the fourth love language is gifts. So, gifting is the least popular of the five love languages, and I agree, probably the most misunderstood.
Mhm.
It's not about materialism or about the money. It's about valuing the visual symbols of love, which could be grabbing your partner a cookie when they didn't ask, a handmade card or flowers. It's about the thought behind the gift rather than the gift itself. And so that's what I was saying about like the gift giving. For me, like it's more about how how it impacts that person, right?
Mhm.
So if it's something that's important to them, and like you were saying, that someone was like, "Oh wow, I didn't even realize they listened to me like that," right?
Right.
Like they heard me say that one detail out of like the whole 20 minutes we were talking, and they got that one thing. Like that matters. That's a love language, y'all.
Right.
And number five is physical touch. So, physical signs of affection are valued by this love language, from holding hands when you're out or out and about to having a cuddle on the sofa at home. Little physical reminders throughout the day, like a kiss as you pass in the hallway, that you value your partner. Unless your partner doesn't want the kiss in the hallway, maybe they want the gift. No, silly. But those are the five love languages, and what we want to do, we'll take a break. And what we want to do is when we come back, we'll talk about how travel is involved with your love languages. But before we go to break, anything that you'd like to add about the five love languages? I think we've kind of covered them, but anything you want to add?
No, I mean, just I would suggest honestly taking the quiz and being surprised by what you think you
Would
know.
would Yeah, yeah, absolutely, right? I'll put the link up again, and I will also include it in the show notes. But that is the link for the quiz for you to discover your love languages if you have not found them, and if you think you know what they are, you might be surprised. So, all right, Joe. On that note, we will take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about how the love languages can help you travel ideally. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. welcome back from the break, y'all. This is the latest edition of Cruising with the Coaches, conversation with Julian Lee. Before the break, we were chit chatting about some love languages and, ours and how they all work together or don't work together, that kind of thing. But the cool thing is, the love languages are not just about romantic relationships, right?
Right.
So specifically, this article, and I didn't mention, I forgot to mention where the article is from. I'll try to grab that before we're finished.
Mhm.
But the cool thing is that this can help you figure out how or where you want to travel. So let's jump into, we're going to go back through each of the five love languages, and this gives an idea of where you could travel. So the first one talks about the country roads of France, if words of affirmation is your love language. So, where better to give or receive words of affirmation than in the very home of the language of love? Practice your French as you take your own Tour de France. Sip on homegrown wine, explore medieval castles, and stroll through the city lights. Ever been to Paris?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
A lot of emails coming in. Julian, let's go to Paris. Let's just saying, folks. I'm just
Not on
just
my
saying.
bucket list. Not. Nope.
Well, number two,
But going
and
going back
oh,
though, so
sure, sure.
when we're saying words of affirmation, I don't
Mhm.
think we're just saying Paris. I think we're
No,
saying places
no.
that are historic, places
Hmm.
that um, trigger you to think more, to take in what is around you.
Yeah,
So I will tell
like the
you,
ambiance, like the vibe is gonna set the mood for more verbal interaction. Yeah.
correct,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I'm like, I will tell you, I just came back from Salem, and that was a very, very interesting trip because it was, first of all, just to hear all about the trades and everything that was happening, and
Sure.
and and the legalized pirating that happened, and what, like, I'm like, what the hell?
Well,
Like,
the legalized is the key,
it
right?
legalizes the key word, but it was still pirating. Like, well, let's be
Right,
clear.
right, right,
But
right.
just to even learn that the whole witch hunts and everything, like, all of that was only a year and a half of time, but it
Which is
has tainted the
insane.
whole history. And it's just
Hmm.
like, wow, so understanding, like, a person who vibes on words of affirmation, like, to
Hmm.
go there and to hear some of the things that the women said, like, before they died, or like
Oof.
just even walking around the memorial,
Hmm.
um for the Salem witch trials, like, just the words and like, just, yeah, like that. I think that would, if you are a person whose words of affirmation and just words in general, just like
Yeah.
walking around that and just reading about it, it was just, it was pretty amazing. And I'm like, I would like to go back because there was just so much
To
to
spend
take
more
in.
time. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah.
I can
So
imagine it would evoke a certain type of not I don't want to say feeling, but it brings something out, like you said, the words of affirmation. So if you're reading what some of those women were saying, or you start getting immersed in what was happening at that
right,
time, that can elicit the verbal back and forth that we're talking
correct,
about with words of affirmation. You know,
correct,
the
correct.
verbal confirmation. That's not what I'm looking for, but yeah,
Yeah.
confirmation is not the right word. It's the brain, folks. Sorry, it's the brain. It's the brain.
Or even like going there and the House of the Seven Gables, it,
Mm,
it didn't have
mm.
seven gables, just so we're clear. So, like, there is the other side of that, in the fact that, the literal sense, like, wait a minute, what do you mean it didn't have seven gables? So,
Right,
it
right.
was a very cool place to visit. I really enjoyed myself.
That's
Yeah.
cool. We'll come back in 2026, y'all, with shows about traveling for sure, for sure. All right. Oh, where did the first one? Second one is So for the quality time love language, glorious Switzerland, right? Take all the quality time you need as you take the Glacier Express, affectionately known as the slowest train in the world. The world famous Swiss train will take you through the heart of the Swiss Alps, and you'll want to use every minute drinking up the mountain views, waterfalls, the viaducts through the panoramic windows. Um, yeah, I I felt that one deeply, right? As
Right.
you already know, like I taken the train trip to the Grand
Mhm.
Canyon, so that's what that reminded me of. And I don't think I don't think it's coincidence that, well, I guess the company I work for is no longer a Swiss company. We're now owned by German company.
Okay.
But for 17 and a half, 16 and a half years, and 17 I've been there, Swiss company. So
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay, there's some synergy there. I get that. All right. But I totally could get, even reading the description made me like visualize what that was like. You know,
Right.
I
So
just
quality
quality
time
time.
though means scenic. Anything that's scenic and
Mm-hmm.
just chill and just you
Yep.
can just melt into whatever it is that you're around. So you can just kind of just view it type of
Just
thing.
be part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what I want to mention this too. You could treat yourself with these things too, right? I mean, I know we've done a show on solo travel before and kind of how to be safe with solo travel and how to
Mhm.
enjoy it. But even the love language, like you got to love yourself too, right? And
Right.
sometimes you might figure out, man, I like quality time with me, so maybe something like, a day trip somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But that might be a thing too.
Yeah.
The third love language in traveling is, so third love language is acts of service, and they are talking about the northern capitals. This is more. This was in Copenhagen, so like northern European countries. But let the professionals make you dinner as you visit Kofako. It's a sustainable, forward-thinking restaurant in Copenhagen that's leading the way in minimizing food waste. Kofako, short for Copenhagen Food Collective, they prioritize using fresh Danish produce, and the flavors are inspired by French and Southern European cuisine. So, how do you feel about the either Southern European or French cuisine and Kofako? I I was like, how am I gonna say that? How am I gonna? That would
So
be cool, though. I think you know.
yeah, so again, I would just sum that up as, if it's acts of service in general, just
Hmm.
like if that's what you enjoy, if that's what you like, so resorts. Like that's where you got to go.
All
That's how
inclusive
all inclusive
resorts. All
resorts, that's
inclusive.
what you are going to enjoy, or
Yeah.
at least going to places where people are over accommodating. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
I would
Or if.
say uh, going to Toronto last year, I mean, I found
Mhm.
the people to be very sweet and very, you know,
Sure.
just generous and just, how can I help you? Let it, what have you, and especially in the restaurants. So it was just kind of like I
Yeah.
really, yeah, just
It's
going somewhere where it's going to be very hospitable.
Toronto's like New York City without the attitude.
Right, with no tude at all.
If New York City was nice, it'd be Toronto.
Nice and
Like
clean,
it,
and it's like, yes.
it's without the attitude. I was even thinking again, talking about my latest trip, but just something as simple as riding coach or getting a sleeper car, right?
Right.
The entire service for you is completely different.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, because I actually did coach and the sleeper car on two separate parts of it, and
Okay.
not that I don't want to say they treat you like uh, shit on coach, but
It's a little different.
but when you have a sleeper car, like meals are included, they got free coffee, like dude, there is service, and you're like, oh
Right.
yeah, I can get down with
Yeah.
this. So
When we were
yeah,
in Jamaica, we had a I feel so pretentious. We had a butler. And I wasn't expecting it, not but
right,
like,
right.
you
But it's
schedule, you
nice.
go and you
It's
whatever,
nice, right?
and it
Yeah,
was kind of like he was there, like no matter what we needed, like he was just there, and it was just kind of bizarre. And then,
nice.
24 hours later, you're over it. You're like by both sides, like, you know what? I would like some French fries, please.
And by the way, with those fries, I want mayo on the side and ketchup on the and split. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got used to it real fast.
Yeah. So again, access and
Yeah.
the people like were super, super sweet, and it was a spa resort. So they were even more
Ah,
just
yep.
all about doing everything to keep you chill and
There's
calm and
nothing wrong with seeing how the
zen.
other half lives, though, man. There is nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Because
Nope,
I get
not at
used
all.
to that like every day. You know? Like,
For
where's the
sure.
butler here, right? Who's the like who's gonna answer the door? Oh no, that's me. Sorry.
That's you.
Yeah. Butler, can you take the trash? Oh no, yeah, that's me. Yeah, yeah. All right. Oh man. Well, the fourth act of service is, as we said, gifts. And this was talking about traveling in northern Spain. And you'll want to bring an extra suitcase to bring all the goodies back from San Sebastian, that San Sebastian has to offer, from boutique clothing to gourmet produce. As you stroll through the city's old quarter, um, home to world famous fashion. Sorry about that. It also has smaller independent clothes shops. Don't miss visiting the iconic San Martin, a traditional market built in 1884, where you'll want to treat yourself and someone else to the local delicacies and cured meats and local wine. So that really sounds like you want to go somewhere that has a gazillion gift shops
Yeah,
that you
places where you
can.
want to buy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I will
yeah,
tell you, I know I went to Chicago and someone's like, "Oh my God, they have the best shopping." And I'm like, "Yeah,
yeah.
I
You're
did
like,
no
I went to
shopping."
Wrigley Field. No, yeah, yeah, right,
I
yeah.
went to the Bean. I'm like, I ate like all kinds of food. I'm sitting there
I've
like,
been on the Michigan Mile one time in my life because I had to get a gift, and
"Gotcha."
that was it. That was it. I
No,
think
I
that was
have
during the
not.
American Girl doll craze,
Okay. I heard
and
that's what's there.
I happened to be in Chicago, and I was like, okay, this is for my niece. So again, it meant something to her, and I literally walked that Michigan Mile to the American Girl doll store, and yes, so was not for
Yeah.
me. That was a
Yeah,
gift, and it was an act of service.
I am not a shopper, so but yeah, I would
Yeah,
say if you are a person who likes to give gifts, going
yeah.
anywhere that has the shopping is just going to be
Fine
high.
shopping.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Northern Spain, you guys, northern Spain. At least that's what was suggested. And the last one, so for the physical touch language, focus on Ireland. So you can get up close and personal with the Irish history when you visit 15th century Blarney Castle. And you can kiss the Blarney Stone if you like, right? This is also known as the Stone of Eloquence. Legend has it that those who kiss the stone are bestowed the gift of gab, or always also known as the power to persuade, flatter, and or coax. So perfect if your partner's love language is words of affirmation. um, I thought that was interesting. I'm not sure I want to kiss the Blarney Stone because it
I
sounds
know,
like a
not
lot of
after
people
everybody
have.
else did.
Yeah, like if you can you find an empty space with a kiss the Blarney Stone, like, but yeah, those are the general ways, right, that you could use the love language that fits you best to
Right.
figure out how to travel or where to
Yeah.
travel to, you know?
Yeah, how to
Or
feed.
I was also thinking if you and your partner or whoever, maybe it's not a partner, but maybe you have a travel buddy, right? And You and your travel buddy take this quiz, and then you find out, oh, wait a minute, maybe we should travel here. I think that opens up the world just to traveling, actually,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and something
Yeah.
that you may not have seen before. So, um, any last thoughts on I'll put the link back up while I'm asking you this question. But any last thoughts on the love languages and traveling before we
Yeah, I
wrap
just
up?
think it's a good idea to, if you have the opportunity to take the quiz and kind of figure out where it is that you can go that would feed to whatever love language it is that you have, but to also make sure that it will also feed whoever you might be traveling with. Because, there's some people who don't really care for sand and oceans and what have you. And if that's your thing,
I thought we were going to the mountains. Why are we at the
exactly.
beach? Yeah, 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 yeah,
Exactly. So, and
yeah.
then just, learn how to compromise. And if you're going to do so much of this on one trip and then the next trip, you know, maybe you do something a little bit different to appease the other person. So,
Yep. You could
or
swap
maybe you go
off.
by yourself, whichever works.
Hey, separate vacations. There you go. Separate vacations.
Right. There
Well,
you go.
maybe you can find a place that has a mountain and a beach, so the person on the mountain can get the binoculars. Oh yeah, they're good. Okay, cool. Person's beach can say, yeah, yep, they're good. So everybody's happy. There you go.
I would say Tahoe would probably be one of the most likely places that you could,
That has both. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Every or could you do that in Brazil? Like you be at the that's a little too high.
Mm, That's a
You don't
little,
want to be up
yeah,
there
yeah.
and you might get robbed on the beach. No, I'm kidding. Folks, sorry. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But hope you've enjoyed this show and learning about the love languages and how it helps you travel. You can find us on Spotify. Look at the search for the Live All Good podcast. Search for the Cruising with the Coaches episodes. You can also find us at our home on YouTube. There's our YouTube page right there. You can see all the episodes. And we also have a Facebook page. If that's your flavor, head on over to Facebook, check out clips, check out episodes. And till next time, Lee and Julie signing off.